Hey, everybody, thanks again for joining me today. We're going to talk about a great experience I had this weekend. I got to meet with some local candidates for local office. And for those of y'all who follow me, know that I recently abandoned or halted my campaign for Congress, and I chose to run for something local so I can get started, kind of meet my base up right there. I'm also going to talk about a couple other things there too that are on my mind. But before we get going, you know the drill. Like, subscribe, share, comment, do all that stuff. My name is Andrew Alvarez, and I am the Latino Conservative. Hey guys, okay, so here we go. This week, I got to go to a MAGA rally, or a MAGA get-together, meetup, whatever you want to call it, and I got to meet some pretty cool people there. I got to meet the chairman of the Brazoria County GOP party. Really great guy. Really great guy. I also got to meet a candidate for the city council in Pearland, Orlando Bourgeois. Dude is crazy, but he's so cool. Then I got to also meet Sarah Landers, who is running for JP Precinct 4 in Brazoria County. Now, here's the cool part about that. Sarah is only 30 years old. That's right. She's 30 years old. She's doing big things right now. She's been serving the county and she's been serving cities for quite a few years already. She's not just going into this blind saying, hey, I want to go run for this. I want to go do this JP office. No, she's actually got experience working with JP. She was a county clerk for a little bit too, or she worked for the county clerk's office. So she's got experience in there. Orlando Bourgeois, this guy comes from Venezuela. Awesome story. He's a Republican candidate, and he's really and truly talking about how the Democratic Party that they have over in Venezuela is what caused their demise. They used to be one of the best countries in the world as far as oil production and a lot of other things too. Venezuela was awesome, but their Democratic Party just totally ruined it. He said that the immigration rate over there got so high that people would be technically kind of invisible. They can go commit a crime there, something as extreme as rape, raping a child, and since they weren't on record, they just leave. Nobody knew the better. Nobody knew who they were. They just go away if they got the heat on them. And same thing, people could go from the other countries to there, and they could commit a heinous crime, murder, whatever, in Guatemala, for example, go to Venezuela, and hey, I found Jesus. I'm a new man. You don't know who I am, though, because I'm invisible. And that's how things are going right now. He said coming to America has really changed his perspective on, well, not really changed his perspective, confirmed his perspective. He brought the immigration thing to light to me even more and confirmed it. He said, yeah, people are good to come over to this country. He came over to this country. He's a teacher now at Alvin Community College. He teaches at San Jack. He does some credit courses too at the high school. He's got his bachelor's, his PhD. Hadn't got his doctor's yet, but he's working on that. And his daughter graduated A&M. A lot of great stuff from a guy that came over legally. So yes, it can be done. One thing that's happening in Pearland that he is really, really, really an advocate for, it's happening right now. Pearland hired a vendor to manage their utility bills, their water bill, to go and get the meter readings and such like that. They didn't do it 1 month, or they didn't complete the job. They got the readings but didn't submit them. So now Pearland residents are paying for 2 months worth of water bill, and of no fault of their own, 2 months in a row, where they were normally just paying every month, just like normal, paying every month. They got notices that, hey, now you got to pay 2 months. So whose fault is that? Is that the residents? Is that the cities? Or is that the vendor company? Another thing that's on the bill that he talked about that he would try to get changed if he were to make it to city council would be to maybe split the cost of the $160 million sidewalk they were going to install and put some of that towards the weird bill that just happened where residents are paying 2 months worth. That's just some of the stuff that's happening on the local scene. And there's so much happening on the local scene. I had no idea. there's just issue after issue after issue coming up. I had no idea. I am so thankful that I got to meet these people and hear what's going on the local side of it. I've got to help set them up at their rally and made some really good connections there. One of the was Sarah Landers. I was telling her about how I might run for city council or county commissioner, whichever one I think would work best. And she asked, the zip code or the area that I lived in. So I told her, she goes, "Oh, that's precinct 4. That's my father-in-law. So I sorry I can't vote for you." No biggie. I'm not going to be ignorant and think that I'm going to get everyone to vote for me when I run for whatever I run for. I'm not even going to say that I'm going to win. I've got a great chance at winning, but all I need is 51% of the votes. Now, I'm going from trying to reach out to 250,000 voters to under 2,000 voters in one area. I used to work more internet leads than that when I was in the car business, so I know I can do that. That's why I'm thinking, get more people, smaller people involved with me first so I can branch out from there. I can learn what's going on this local level, because if I make Congress, when I make Congress, these local issues, they don't just happen here. They happen all over the country, and I've seen it. I've just never got to go in depth that way. But it was a great experience, had some good wings, had great conversation. And one of the things that was a big topic of discussion was getting people out there to vote. And everyone that I talked to about voting confirmed my thought. You don't have to vote Republican. You don't have to vote Democrat. But go out and vote. Plain and simple, go out and vote. The registration deadline is coming up quick. Early voting starts next month. So you got to go out there and vote. Go to your county clerk, get registered. But it's not just the president, vice president running, not just senators, not just Congress. There's city council, county commissioners. There's all sorts of people out there running right now. In my specific area, the local elections were set for May, but those were pushed off till this month. And yours may be pushed off to this month too because of all of the coronavirus that was happening. So go out there and vote. You don't know what's out there until you vote. And quite honestly, you don't have a right to say this person sucks, that person's bad, Orange Man bad, Biden sucks. You don't have the right to say that if you don't go vote. If you don't vote, you're choosing to settle. On another topic, this might be a little shorter video, but California right now, my goodness. There's some stuff happening in California. Politically, they had this bill pass. It gives the judges the option if they want to force someone to register as a sex offender. Even when it comes to a pedophile sex offender, where anyone under 18, technically a child, that's a little questionable there. I mean, quite honestly, if an 18-year-old, there's a 10-year gap is what has to happen. So an 18-year-old could potentially go in and rape an 8-year-old and say it was consensual. He could go home with probation, and that's plain and simply it. Whereas an 8-year-old and an 18-year-old, I mean, that's, even if it was consensual, the 8-year-old said yes, that is still rape. And that is so morally wrong. It's horrible. I don't know what they're thinking over there. They also, I'm going to touch on this again, started suggesting to turn off power, to turn off appliances, set your AC up to 78 degrees. Started the suggesting there. But you remember when masks used to be a suggestion? Their top people, their governors, their mayors of LA is tweeting out, time to turn off your appliances, time to do this, time to do that. I could see where this could potentially go to where they would legislate something to the effect of making people turn off their power, set the ACs up to 80, turn their ACs off. Now they're putting it under the guise of they're conserving power and they're trying to prevent fires. But there's more than one reports of LA specifically shutting off power and utilities to buildings. Churches, for example, that are having service, they shut the power off. Now, churches having service, that is their First Amendment right. That is one of the basic fundamental rights of this country. That's why we established ourselves as a country, was for freedom of religion. But churches are getting power shut off. There's also a church out there that's been using a parking lot in Los Angeles for 45 years. 45 years they've been using this parking lot, and LA wants to evict them from that parking lot. I really wish somebody would go and buy that parking lot and donate it to the church. Get it out of the county's hands. It's horrible what's going on over there. Then they got these fires. Now, I can't say anything politically about the fires, and I will refuse to. But I will say there's a lot of land. I don't know the exact number, but half the state almost is being burned. Now, we've all got family out there. We've got friends. We've got people that we know. I've got family and friends out there. I've got acquaintances in the car business that are out there. And I see her posting pictures of her morning workouts and whatnot, but it's orange. The skies are orange because of all the smoke. Guys, that could get dangerous. There's people that can die from that. There's already 33 people that have died from that. Millions of dollars, billions of dollars probably lost in houses, in forests. They've got the big redwood forests, the big, huge trees out there that will probably lose a lot of that. But it's happening, guys. Fires are happening. Lives are being destroyed. I'm going to take a real quick second. Just, you can do what you want. You can do your prayers. You can do a moment of silence with me. But let's just think about California for a second and, keep them in our thoughts and in our prayers. So I'm going to start this moment of silence right now. Hey guys, thank you again for listening. Remember, I like to do these once a week on Sundays around 4 o'clock. I'm going to try to get these out a couple times a week here pretty soon. But be heard. Do your duties. My name is Andrew Alvarez, and I'm the Latino Conservative.